Hey everybody, this is Smoke coming to you with some Gears of War 3 King of the Hill gameplay Hotel. We want to start off by just apologizing. I know I haven't made a video in a while, and it's not because I haven't wanted to. It's more just because I struggle to get decent gameplay that will serve even just as a backdrop to some commentary. So it's not because I haven't wanted to, it's just that I struggle to be consistent with this game. I do really like this game. I enjoy it thoroughly, but I sometimes have problems with having some sort of gameplay that will at least be entertaining to watch. But I really do appreciate the people who do take the time to watch my videos. I know people have better uses of their time, so anybody who takes the time to go ahead and click on my videos and at least give them a shot to watch them. I know it's sometimes difficult to watch a whole 5 to 10 minute commentary gameplay. I know I'm guilty of having a little bit of ADD set in and skipping around the video at times too, but anybody who at least gives me a shot to watch, I do appreciate it. Even if my video only draws 20 views, I really do appreciate the people who take the time to at least give the video a click, give it a shot to at least see if it's going to be entertaining. This is definitely one of the longer ones that I'll do. I really wasn't hoping that it was going to be this long. I didn't realize that the video was this long until I had gone ahead and imported it. Initially it was, I think, over 17 minutes, maybe 17 and a half minutes, and not to throw any spoilers into the mix, but this is only a 2-round King of the Hill match, so I was really surprised that each round rather was that long. But I went ahead and at least cut out some downtime, some respawning and things like that, and I sped up some areas that weren't all that action-packed, so to speak. So I hope you can at least bear with me for a portion of this time. I hope it's not going to be too dry, and maybe it will spark some interesting discussion, to say the least. What I'd like to cover in this commentary is going to be twofold. It's not going to be all Gears of War, but it's definitely going to be an aspect of that. What I would like to talk about is why I prefer King of the Hill over some of the other game modes. And what I will also talk about in this video is a little bit of Modern Warfare 3 related, not specifically to the game itself, but an aspect of the game that I know has probably been talked about to death. I haven't touched on it, at least, so bear with me, and it's definitely one of those hot topics that normally goes around, and everybody's got an opinion on it, so we'll see how that goes. So as far as this gameplay goes, why do I prefer King of the Hill? In a nutshell, I think the easiest explanation for that would be the pacing. King of the Hill is definitely one of those game types that always has you on the move, always has you engaged in what's going on. Everybody is converging normally on a point of interest, and it definitely keeps things moving along, keeps things on the high level of the action scale, and you don't feel bored, you don't get frustrated when, I don't know, I guess you can't say guys aren't playing the way that you'd like them to, because obviously people aren't going to do that, but at least you're going to have people playing a certain way in order to win the match. I think that mindset's been more of a byproduct of me playing a lot of objective-based games in Call of Duty. I used to be fine playing TDM and holding down an area of the map and just going with it and holding down choke points. You know, call it camping if you want, but I used to be okay with that. The pace of that was okay. We were still winning, still doing well, still pulling off good stats, but when I switched to running domination mostly in Black Ops, I really have a hard time staying still for an extended period of time now. And for me, I think that's good. I mean, I play a game to be engaged, I play a game for entertainment, so being on the move, having something to actually do, as opposed to just simply killing the opposition, has at least made the game much more entertaining. I think when you play an objective-based game, it's going to be a little different each time you play it. TDM, it kind of plays the same. You're going to have people doing the exact same tendencies, and really everybody's going to fall into the same cookie-cutter style of play in order to win. There's not, at least from my perspective, there's not a whole lot of variety. When you play an objective-based game, at least the gameplay is going to be a little bit more unpredictable. And for me, when I do play a game, I generally I play it a lot. I get my money's worth. So whenever there can be some variety in the gameplay and some exception to the rule, it's going to make the replayability, it's going to make me putting more time into it a lot easier. And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy TDM in Gears of War. I think it's a great addition to the game as far as a game type goes, but it can be very, very campy, and especially in a game where there are power weapons available. The most common TDM strategy is going to consist on camping power weapons or camping some sort of height advantage, you know, getting the higher ground and shooting down on spawns. You know, it's fun, it's a nice change of pace, but for me, again, it is about the pacing, and a TDM, at least in Gears of War, is a little bit slower, and since this is a tactical shooter, you get guys just sitting in cover, waiting for a power weapon, and I don't know. It's fun, but at least with a game like King of the Hill, you're not going to be really rewarded for that style of play. It may get you the power weapon, but that power weapon doesn't ensure that you're going to capture the hill, and it certainly won't guarantee a win like camping a power weapon in a TDM. Now, as far as how I play it, I mean, I'm generally that guy in the ring. I mean, I want to capture that point as much as possible. I like being on the top of the leaderboard, and obviously an easy way to accomplish that is by capturing the hill. So I'm normally that guy who's going to be in that hill as much as possible, but since my skills are not up to par with what I'd like them to be, and I know that I can't go ahead and take out 2 or 3 guys consistently, I play a little bit more defensively sometimes. I'm not going to be that headless chicken that's going to run into 4 guys and repeatedly die. So sometimes I'll even just be the bait. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if I can draw 2 guys away from a hill for an extended period of time, even if I don't kill either one of them, if I'm at least drawing their attention away from that hill, and if I die, if I spared my teammates 15 seconds to where they can go at least break the ring or try to recapture it, that's actually a strategy that I employ. But for you all who do play Gears of War, I'm curious to know what your preferred game type is and why it's your preferred. So go ahead and leave me some comments on that. Maybe I'm playing some of the other game modes wrong, or maybe I'm not giving a game mode a chance that I probably would enjoy if given more of an opportunity to play it. So let me know what y'all think on that. Moving on to my next topic, I'm seeing a lot of videos on YouTube about people who are prepping for Modern Warfare 3, and they're trying to figure out the best class setups and strategies and how the game's going to play, things like that. And for the most part, I think that's good. I think you know, any game that you're going to be putting a lot of time into, there's nothing wrong with trying to get some heads up, some sort of competitive advantage to start off on the right foot as much as possible. But then you've got a whole group of people who have had it figured out for quite some time. And the simple fact of that matter is, if things aren't going your way, you get to that dashboard as quickly as possible. Seriously though, I mean, it's the goddamn game genie of multiplayer gaming. The fact that people can just take a bad game and act like it never happened, and then continue on, and and then use their stats as justification for their gaming worth. So why do people do it? What makes somebody so infatuated with stats that they would go out of their way to not have a multiplayer game count? And for that, I actually went ahead and I got some expert advice, some expert insight into this problem, and they actually answered it with the question, and it only took them about 8 seconds to do so. So you're going to want to definitely follow through with this video and watch it to the very end to hear this groundbreaking insight into the dashboarding problem. I've already touched on what I think the problem is, and that is the infatuation with stats. People actually feel cheated if the game has exceptional lag, and they don't want those stats to be reflective of how good of a player they are, so they feel that it is warranted that they dashboard in that situation. I mean, what about those games where the tables turn and you've got that awesome connection to where you're a solid second ahead of everybody else? Are you dashboarding in those situations too? Because, I mean, that's not a reflection of how good you are. You're taking advantage of a good connection over players who are lagging. The problem is that people have made up justifications and criteria for what warrants a dashboard, and I think that's the root of the problem. I think as long as we have games that have stats that are mainstream, you're gonna have dashboarding as a continued problem. I wish people would just accept the game for what it is, accept your stats for what they are, just numbers, and get back to just enjoying the game. But this game is winding to a close. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate it. If you liked the video, let me know. If you didn't like the video, let me know and give me some feedback. As promised though, guys, here is that expert insight.
Why you so mashed potato? I mean, I want some taters and gravy.